So I wasn't even going to talk about this wave of action figures on the channel nor show them off because the entire wave is a Walmart exclusive, and I just assumed they were going to get here just all busted up and squashed and mashed, and it was just going to be depressing and it wasn't going to be anything I was going to be interested in talking about here on Paul's Collectibles. But they came in 2 boxes with air pillows, very gently packed in, and all of them are in pristine condition. So with that, let's get into this. All right, welcome to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about an entire wave of 3 3/4 inch Star Wars Vintage Collection action figures. Now, this entire wave was unique to Walmart. It was a Walmart exclusive, and I got 2 of each. And there were some great figures in this wave, and I just assumed they were going to get squashed and mashed and torn up because it looks like they sometimes play football or soccer if you're from the States with them before they put them in the boxes. And if you've seen any YouTube videos in the past of people getting figures from Walmart, it's just depressing because they just tear them up so badly. But I got my boxes today. There's 2 of them because I got 2 of each of the figures in this wave, and they were packed in with air pillows, nicely puzzle pieced in. It looked like they had come from like Big Bad Toy Store or something like that, and they're in pristine condition. So we're going to take a look at them today. Now, the good thing about Walmart, and they've done this the entire time I've been buying figures from them online, is these were available in March as a pre-order, and they said that they were going to be here in October. And today's October 1st, and I'll be darned if they weren't in my box and waiting for me to pick them up. So we're going to get this entire Walmart 2022 wave in front of some lights, take a look at them, and see what I'll be adding to my Star Wars Vintage Collection of action figures today. Okay, so here's the whole wave out of the shipping box from Walmart. There were 5 characters in this wave, 2 of whom are very, very similar, as we'll see here in just a second. And we're going to be doing what I call a worst to first on this one, meaning I'm going to start off with the one that I like the least, move through until we get to my favorite. But let's get a look at these. Okay, right off the bat, we're starting with Artoo-Detoo from The Empire Strikes Back. He's got the Sensorscope, and I'm going to be honest with you. I know that that card is the one that came on the original figure, and I'm guessing this is the original 96 or something like that, which will make a lot of people happy, but I just think that card back looks silly to me. He's looking the wrong way, and C-3PO's behind him, and you know, oh, it's all good. And they have the word Sensorscope on there. Yeah, just that card is just silly if you ask me. Now, it is the new thicker card back, and all of these are, so I guess there is that to say for it. But there's the figure, and this Artoo-Detoo is done very well. There's really nothing to complain about in there. As you can see, they've gotten really good with the small details and articulation on these tiny little figures. And he comes with his little sensor scope up here as well, which I'm assuming can fit inside the top of his head in some fashion. But there he is. Not a bad looking figure, just I'm not a huge robots and droids guy to begin with, and then this card really didn't help it any. So this is the least favorite of the 5 I got. And Artoo-Detoo is VC234. Next up, we have the first of the 2 twins, The Empire Strikes Back Star Wars Bespin security guard, and this guy's name is Spinoza, and he looks kind of Asian on his card back, and that is a middle of the road card back. That's obviously a screen grab from the movie, and I do like that, and it showcases the character very well. Nothing to get overly excited about, but definitely better than the Artoo-Detoo card, and nothing to get really too upset about. Just a good plain meat and potatoes card to show off the character. And then there is the character inside the package. Just plain Bespin guard. He's just got his one blaster down there. And the piping and the gold effects on his uniform look really good. They got the red cuffs on there really good. And his face is done very well also. Now, the only thing I don't like about these newer vintage collection figures is they're doing this thing where they run like a point of articulation across their chest, and I'm not sure that's necessary, and it looks kind of silly. And as you can see, especially if you catch it just right with the shades, it looks like a really huge black line through the middle of the character, and I'm not sure why they feel it's necessary to do that, but I could definitely do without it. But overall, not a bad looking guy, and I'm kind of happy to get some of the legacy characters from the original trilogy no matter what. And Spinoza is VC233. Okay, and what is effectively a variation on the figure we just looked at, this is another Bespin security guard. This one's called Isdom Edian, or Isdom Edian, or however you want to pronounce that name. But what I like about this guy is, first of all, his card back is better than the other one. That's why he comes next as we're going worst to first. And I like the fact that he has like this teal color behind his name and behind the figure. It makes it look a little bit better as opposed to the orange we saw on Helder Spinoza back there. Plus, we get a better look at his entire uniform on this card back, and of course there's some Stormtroopers in there, so you know that's going to be my favorite of those two cards. But overall, not a bad looking card, and I can't complain about that. Getting up close, this is exactly the same figure as the one we just saw. He has a working holster, which is pretty cool. He comes with his blaster. Same piping and ornamental effects on his uniform with the red cuffs, done very well. He is just painted, his skin tone is black, so he's got a different face sculpt, and his skin tone has been painted black, but basically the same figure. And of the two security guards from Bespin, I like this one better, mostly because of the card, but another great figure. And this gentleman is VC231. Okay, and now we're getting into the good stuff. I'm a huge fan of the Empire, specifically the troopers and stuff like this. So this is second out of my favorites in this wave of 5 figures. And this is the Imperial gunner from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Now, I don't remember if this guy was done in the original 96. I believe he probably was. So that's probably just the same card they used last time. It's got the bright yellow name back and the bright yellow behind the character, and I think that's a good choice considering the rest of this card is so gray and he's dressed in all black, so that helps get some relief color going on there, and that's actually really good looking. And I like that card too. I love how he's just standing there in his uniform. We've got obviously the Death Star or something in the background holding on to his belt, got his helmet on. You get a good look at it, and I think that is an incredibly good, adequate card for what this character does in the movie and his entire role. So once again, great relief colors, and that's a good looking card. Okay, so not a lot of details to this guy, to be honest with you, but they still managed to make the character look really good. Now, the guy in the picture does not have the chest armor on. He's that variation, just wearing the overall jumpsuit. But the guy that's in the package, the character, he has that chest armor on. Kind of makes him look like an umpire from the 1980s baseball game. But anyway, that's what he's a little different from what we see on the card, but I love it, and I think that's actually a better character to put in there rather than just the one in the jumpsuit. The helmet is done very well. As you can see now, the antenna looks a little bent up there, but I'm not sure if that's something you could fix. This guy in the picture doesn't even have the antenna, and on the side, it's hard to tell, but I don't think it has the red and blue color. It does have the very prominent silver Imperial logo, and there's silver accents on his belt, and he does come with a blaster, but a pretty plain character. He does have the logos on his shoulders, but they could have done just a little bit more detailing to the helmet, and it looks like it might also be just a tad small. Oh, you know what? I can see the red and the blue in there now. They do have it on there. There it is. Man, it's really small. Overall, though, I really like that figure. It looks really good, and for what it is, it's done very well. So this is going to be my second favorite and a great Imperial character to have in my collection. And the Imperial gunner is VC232. And finally, we've saved the best for last. I mean, come on, you saw it in the background. You knew this was going to be my favorite figure. Wow, the old school Star Wars logo, that classic red Stormtrooper name pill, the beautiful 2 Stormtrooper card like we got on that original card from like 1978, I think it was. And then the new mold for that Rogue One Stormtrooper with all of this old school stuff in the background. This is just an absolute grail piece for me. The original OG plain Stormtrooper from Star Wars. I am just going to, I can't just gush about this enough. I'm so excited to have this, and I was so worried that Walmart was just going to destroy it and there was going to be my whole day, but they came in pristine condition. I got 2 of these just like I got 2 of the other figures, and I am just ecstatic to have this. Look at that. Obviously, I would love to be able to find a carded Stormtrooper from Star Wars from the original line from '78, but the very next best thing, I mean, wow, I'm just going to continue to gush. Double racetrack, the whole 9. This is just a beautiful card back, and I'm so excited to get this into my collection. And there's not really much to say about this Stormtrooper sculpt. We've seen this a number of times. This is the original Rogue One Stormtrooper. They redid him in a stealth Stormtrooper, I think, the black one, and then with the blue accents, and we've just recently gotten the Stormtrooper Commander and the heavy weapons Stormtrooper, and then the 4-pack of Stormtroopers. They are just absolutely making wonderful use of this mold, and I'm gonna eat it up. I love this Stormtrooper mold, and it's just one of my favorite characters in this entire line. And this latest iteration of the old school Stormtrooper is VC231. But there you have it, just a quick look at these 5 figures from the Walmart 2022 wave of action figures, and I'm absolutely ecstatic. The worst one in the bunch is the Artoo-Detoo, and I still love it, and it just gets better and better all the way up to this great re-release Stormtrooper on the old school card. Just look at that, wow. But I appreciate you checking out this video with me. If you're not a subscriber, maybe consider doing that. It's a great way to support my efforts here. And if you are, I appreciate you supporting me to this point. But with that, I will see you on the next video.